Yo, guys, what's up? And welcome back to the Marvelous Chats podcast. This is episode 144. Tonight on the cast is myself, Finto, and Alex, aka Zaberwolf. We're going to be talking about The Penguin episode 2, and we're going to be talking about Agatha All Along episodes 3 and 4, and any other nerdy news in between. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and leave us a like on the video as well. That really helps us grow. And if you're watching us on a replay, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think. Without further ado, here we go. What's up,
Hey,
dude?
what's
How are
going on?
you?
Nothing much. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. This website that we use for hosting this podcast has kind of changed a little bit. Now it kind of threw me off there. I was
Hmm.
like, what the fuck? I was like, one of the buttons changed, like location. So kind of threw me off a bit. How are you, man? How was your week? Or 2 weeks,
Uh,
should I say? We haven't spoken 2 weeks.
my week's been pretty good. Just been playing a lot of video games. Finally finished Lies of P, which was like a fantastic game. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I
Um,
think I saw that on Game. I think you can play that for free on Game Pass, right?
I
Pretty
don't
sure.
know. I don't follow Game Pass.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Not
sure
I'm
it's on
not
Game Pass for free.
not a big fan of Game Pass. I think it's useful in some cases, but it's continuously draining your money. So like it's just it's effective for people who think that they can get away with a game for such and such hours or such and such amount of time. But if you're playing it past, if you're playing multiple games past the point of certain time frames, then you're essentially like wasting money. Especially for games that are consistently like if they're massively like online, like if you're playing Call of Duty on Game Pass, that seems like a waste of time.
Yeah, I think you would really need to be playing multiple games to make it worth your while. Like I know when you first sign up, I think they give you the first month for free, which I thought was pretty cool because it was a game I wanted to play, and I got to play that game for free. So I was kind of like, oh, cool. But what's good about it is you can kind of cancel it and just jump in and out of it as you see fit. So if you're not using the app, like I should probably cancel mine right now because I haven't really been playing it. But I've left it up because I know there's probably some stuff that I want to play soon because I know a lot of the Call of Duty stuff is on there for free as well. So I probably will use it. But that's how they get the
Just
money out of you.
just buy Call of Duty, man. If you're gonna play if you're using Game Pass to play Call of Duty, you're wasting your money.
Well, as I say, if I'm playing other stuff as well, so if I play some story, like if I play one story mode game a month, that's a tenner a month to buy a game. So
Right.
it's good in that sense. And then if you're playing something like COD on top, happy days.
Right.
But yeah, like
I'm
I was playing. What did I play? Mass Effect. So I played the first Mass Effect game, like the remaster. And again, they've got all three of them there. So I was like, I will play the other two. So obviously I'll have to restart it to play them. So yeah, look, it's how frequent of a gamer are you? But the fact that
it,
you can cancel out and they're not tying you into contracts and stuff, I think is good.
Oh yeah, you can quit drugs anytime. But are you gonna quit? I
Well,
mean,
like
it
this is
doesn't sound like it.
well, I've quit twice before. I started up when I need it, So, or
You
if I'm
start it
if
up
I'm
when
going to
you need
use
it,
it,
when you're jonesing for it, right?
or if there's just something on there that I want to play, Like I'm playing
Yeah,
Wukong. I'm
just a
playing
little.
Wukong
You
at the
just need a
moment,
little bit
so
of a bump right now. You just need a little, you just need a little bit
yeah,
of something. Like I'm telling you, man, it's just like it's the same thing. It's a
yeah,
way for them. They're your drug dealer. They're
yeah.
100% your drug dealer. They got what you
True,
need.
true. Before we kind of kick off into the topics like the weekly shows, did you check out Joker 2, or have you heard any of the reviews or seen anything on TikTok or anything about it?
I'm not interested in Joker. Like I saw the first movie and I thought it was okay. Um, it wasn't like, oh my god, it blew me away. It was just another rendition, like a different telling of the story itself. And it was during the time when Bruce Wayne is still a kid, because of course we see at the end of the movie that the theater gets hit, and then they try to leave, and then they get attacked, and um, it's kind of like it's a new telling, which that's fine. But when you change the dynamic of it so hard in the next movie, it like considering that it made it into a musical, it seems interesting, but it also seems like you don't really have any legs to stand on when it comes to those kinds of things, because like it just doesn't make sense to really like change it that dynamically unless like you started out that way or it ended that way. Like it started
It's
like
yeah, it's insane though.
imagine.
It's an
Yeah, because like
insane business decision to make
right.
the second movie a musical when the first one was so dark, so gritty, and just like such a like kind of fucking like psychological like kind of like thriller. You know what I mean? It was like
Yeah.
such a mind fuck of a movie. And now in the second one, it's like it's a musical. Now, my hopes for the movie was that like, yeah, it's a musical, but there's only maybe a couple of songs in it, and it's Harley and Tim in Arkham and they're losing their minds or whatever. I'm like, that would make sense. But I haven't seen the movie, but from what I've seen, like the sheer like backlash from the film, I think the whole thing is a musical, and it's like too much a musical, if that makes sense. Like they went all in, and it just sounds bizarre to me. It seems like such a weird decision, and like again, I don't like I know for 100% fact I won't be seeing it on the big screen, which is sad to say, but I just like I can't justify the money for it. I know I'm not gonna like it, so it's kind of like, oh, like I just can't justify spending that money, like, you know what I mean? So I was watching Sean Talks Movies did a kind of spoiler filled review of it over on his TikTok, and I was like, oh, I'll just watch this, like I don't really care. And I heard the end of the movie, and I'm just like, they even like did that with it. I was like, wow, okay. So it's just, I don't know, man. It's just, it seems to be rubbing the fans up the wrong way in every sense of the word. So it's just,
Mhm.
yeah, it's really bad. Like apparently the budget for the movie was 200 million. It's doing like, it had a worse opener than the Marvels. It had a worse opener than the Flash. It's an absolute disaster financially.
It's too creative for its own good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things where it's like, it's the Taika Waititi kind of situation
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
where,
They went too far.
yeah. So like
Yeah.
they had something, they had some gold,
Yeah.
and then they decided to throw it away and and try to find more gold. It's just kind of
Yeah.
so weird. It's just such a
It's
weird
it
situation. It's like
is.
just follow the formula that you had originally and do it the exact same way, and I'm sure it'll be gold like consistently at that point. Because I mean, there's what do you need to change? Like, why do you have to go so far as to make us feel like it has to dynamically change every single time we get a new movie?
Yeah. Yeah, like it's just like day and night from the first one. Like they could have
Eh,
just easily made this an Arkham Asylum movie, an adventure inside the prison. The two of them are just kind of bit batshit, like, and maybe yeah, you go into like a bit of a dancey fucking musical number with the two of them, just like kind of going crazy or losing their minds together. But it sounds like they just went way too far with it. I don't know, bro.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
unfortunate.
I'm seeing a lot of mentions as well. I don't know this for sure, but I'm seeing a lot of mentions of Heath Ledger's Joker online. So I don't know if they've put a little nod into Heath Ledger somewhere in the movie or something like that, but it seems to be rubbing a lot of people the wrong way as well. So I'll check it out when it releases digitally, but I won't be paying for it. And it's sad because I kind of try to see everything on the big screen, comic book wise,
Mhm.
and this will be probably the first movie that I haven't seen in many many years. So yeah, fuck you, Joker. How dare
Unfortunate.
you? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
unfortunate, but like it's at least like the only thing that I would say is like I commend him for trying.
It's a
It's
ballsy
one,
move, that's for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. It is.
it's definitely like something that I would say is like, at least they gave it a shot. Like I'm not like it sucks that it went down so hard, but I mean you change it so dynamically, it makes it such a. It's like I don't know if you ever played Darkest Dungeon 1 and 2.
No.
So in Darkest Dungeon 1, it's essentially like a roguelite that or like essentially you gear up your characters, you go through the dungeons, and then you kind of like pick and choose as you go along, and then you essentially gather up more and more people as you go through, and then but if your party dies, they're gone. You get to keep whatever it is that they had on, like maybe some trinkets and whatnot, and maybe a little bit of like gold or something,
Mm,
but those characters are gone, and you have to try to set up a new set. In the second Darkest Dungeon, essentially now it's just a little like you're literally on a stagecoach. You pick your team, you go through. If they die, you wipe, you go back to the beginning, and you have to pick your group again. But there's no like recruiting things or any of this such anymore. It's like completely different. And people, a handful of people just don't like that. They're like,
yeah.
where's the love that they had when Darkest Dungeon 1 came? Like, why can't we just do another one of those? Some people just don't want to change it up, but like I still commend them for trying. There's some aspects of it that worked, and maybe if we watched the movie, it would actually work. But like, I don't think I'm gonna watch it in theaters as of right now.
No, no, I don't think I'm going to watch it in theaters either. I will 100% check it out digitally at home. for free. So I'll do that for sure. But I'm not spending any money on this movie. I'm sorry. Um, I'll leave it up to you. Do you want to talk about Agatha first? Do you want to talk about Penguin first? What are you feeling like? Which
Um,
one? Maybe which one did you prefer this week?
which one? Well, like it's a no brainer. It's Penguin. Like obviously,
Yeah,
like Penguin's doing really good. I think that the dynamic with the show itself is doing fantastic. I think just it's just like a mob show
yeah,
with a character from Batman, and has certain references here and there to, certain areas within Gotham. It has certain references to different characters. They recently mentioned the Riddler again.
mm,
um there's a good feeling to it, because like it knows what it is, and it knows what it's trying to be. And I'm all for it, because it's not trying too hard to get me to understand, like, hey, so like this is the Penguin, he's starting at the bottom, like this is probably one of the first times you've ever seen the Penguin reach that point of, like, I have to start from here, work my way up. We literally weasel my way through, and like just kind of hovel around, and just try to survive as best as I can until everything collapses in and I'm the person on top of all the rubble.
yeah,
And it's so nice to get that feeling, because it's just one of those things where, you know I, I've seen The Sopranos. Katie hasn't seen it yet. I know some people who have seen The Sopranos before, and it's literally, in a sense, like the rise and fall kind of situation. Even though, like, Tony is essentially the head boss of that, of that chapter, essentially, and just does his best to maintain that section of his, while also trying to maintain a stability with the others. But things just start getting chaotic and whatnot, and there's people that try to supersede him, and it's like, that's the side you see when you see the top. This is the side you see when you see the bottom.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I think when you watch the movie, The Batman, it kind of comes across as if Penguin is a lot higher in the rankings than he is. And I think in this episode, you kind of hear him talking about Falcone a bit and how he said he was kind of, Falcone's number one guy. And, he's like, I should be getting more respect. I was Falcone's left hand when he was alive and all this stuff. And like when you watch episode one, he's kind of like shit on their shoe, like sort of stuff. And then, but when
Yeah.
you watch the movie, he does appear as if he's like very close to the top. And now I think we're kind of getting that explanation as to why. So obviously, like, Falcone obviously had a very soft spot for Penguin, but doesn't feel like anybody else in the family does. So he's got to kind of work very difficultly to kind of weasel his way, as you said, to the top. And what I really loved about episode two was it really showed how actually intelligent and on the ball he is. And you need to have that kind of mischievous kind of criminal mind to really work in a world like this. And he's thinking two or three steps ahead. He's trying to, like, double cross people and do framing people and all this sort of stuff. And it's like shit doesn't work, as we see in the episode, and he's quickly able to make up another plan. He's like, okay, we got to do this instead. And like, yeah, I'm just like, I'm a big Sopranos fan. And my family love it. Like my parents watch it like once a year. Like they're massive fans of Sopranos. And I only recently just watched it with my girlfriend. She'd never seen it before. And so it's very similar. And I think that might be part of the reason as to why it's doing as well as it's doing. It's on HBO. It's on the kind of prime time slot of Sunday evening. If it was a HBO Max, fucking Max original series, I don't think it would be doing as well as it's doing right now. I think because
Mhm.
it's got the premium slot, it's very much like The Sopranos. A lot of people are saying he's like Tony Soprano. So I think a lot of like normie fans are gonna just jump on that, just going, "Oh, this is like The Sopranos, but it's like Batman. I'll check this out." Like I've had like my real life friends who don't listen to this podcast, or don't like, are not interested in comic book shit at all, so they wouldn't even listen. But I've had people text me going like, what should I watch before watching this Penguin show? Like, do I have to watch a ton of movies, or what's the story? And I'm like, technically, if you want to be like right on the ball with it, just watch one movie, the 2022 Batman. I said you need nothing else, but you technically could just go into this show without seeing the Batman, and it wouldn't be very hard to catch on. Where they start us. It's kind of obvious the boss is dead, and there's a kind of vacuum, and people are grabbing for the head of the family spot, basically. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it's not difficult to pick it up, and especially if you're kind of into the whole mob story stuff, you'll pick it up very quickly. So, But
Right.
I did highly recommend that he watches the Batman first. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean it like it's like you said, you really don't have to go into it as hard as you need to, and like let's say like previous stuff. Like it's kind of like when you it's not it's like in terms of games, like if you don't see Arkham City, and Arkham City is like, well, what the fuck happened to to Gotham? It's all up in water and whatnot, like everything's fucked. It's like, well, you got to play the first one to kind of know like the whole gist of the story. It's like why is, um why is Bruce Wayne in jail or in prison when he's in Arkham Knight, or
I
is
don't
it
know.
Arkham City? But like essentially, have
The
you played
first one
them?
was the first one was Arkham Asylum, and
Right?
then
Did
there
you
was Arkham City, and then Arkham Knight. I think was the
did
latest
you
one.
did you play
I've
them?
I did. I didn't like do a full run of them, but I did. I have played enough of them. Like I played Arkham Asylum, the first one. I played it when it first came out.
Hmm.
I don't really remember too much about the game, but I remember playing Arkham Knight on PS4, but I didn't finish it. I kind of got bored of it and moved on to something else, and never
Hmm.
went back and actually cleared it. But I kind of what the whole reveal of who the Arkham Knight was got ruined for me online, and that kind of put a sour taste in my mouth. I was like, oh fuck, it's Jason this whole time. I was like, okay, whatever. Like, and I kind of just didn't want to go back and play it then because I was like, I know the twist now. Like, so I'm kind of like, fuck. But good games, very good games. And I think if they brought out a new one on like you know Unreal Engine
Hmm.
5 or something, it'd be massive, massive game.
Yeah, I mean, like I think too many people are putting a lot of pressure on Unreal 5. Like it's still new. It still has a lot of bugs. There's still a lot of bullshit with it. But I get what people are saying, but it looks just like 4. It's just an up like it's very much like 4. It's given much more resources to work with, and it's gonna fuck your computer so hard when it gets to the point where it's like you can't. I imagine the next Star Wars game that you get, like that's even close to using Unreal 5, like is gonna just ruin your computer. Um,
There's a trait. There's like a demo for 5.5 up. I don't know if you saw it. Maybe watch it after this stream. But
mhm.
yeah, it looks even crazier. Like they're doing lots of really cool shit with lighting in 5.5 and looks wild. Yeah, you should
Yeah,
check it
and
out.
it's that's yeah, and that's just gonna burn your computer up. Like it's so hard to do that kind of stuff. Like ray tracing, even in, I know most people are very excited for ray tracing to be a thing and whatnot, but like it still very much eats a lot of your stuff. Like even Black Myth Wukong, if when you're playing that game, um, if you don't have a 4090 at the moment, if you're not even running like I would say, even if you're not like if you're running an SLI of 4090s, that might help, but it's not like widely used anymore. It's not a common thing. It's more of an enthusiast kind of like ultimate like elitist enthusiast kind of build stuff. And even then, most things don't run SLI anymore. So it's like it's so fucking hard. Like I have a 4090. I ran that thing. I had the settings as close to it as possible, and it's still not there. It's so resource intensive. So but
I'm
anyway,
running it on a 4070 and I just play the game on medium and it looks great. I don't even doesn't bother me at all. Looks
I'm running
fucking
everything
great.
on max. I just turn certain things down, and it's just it's beautiful, but like it is it necessary? Probably not. Like I think they're kind of jumping the gun a little too hard on it. They should really take steps, or at least, give additional resources so that you can kind of tiptoe around it so that you're not overdoing it on your rig, because like it's huge, man. It's huge.
Yeah. Um yeah, like episode 3 of the Penguin is coming out like in a couple of hours. So I'm kind of I'm a little foggy on the deeper details of episode 2. Um what I'm trying to think now. Was there your man Victor? Did he get caught at the end? I can't remember what happened to him at the very end. You know the way they were kind of trying
Victor.
to Victor, the dude who's helping out the penguin. He's like, do you remember they're trying to like put evidence in your man's car and he gets caught. Does he get
uh
away? I can't remember. They're are they burying a body at the end? I can't really remember
Well,
the
he's
the
trying to teach him that like you got to really be careful about what you do, who you're working with, and like all the essentially like you can't just be fucking around and thinking that you're gonna live every time that you're doing these kind of works. Like you got to be on edge. You can't trust anybody. You gotta really like not put yourself out there at a point where like you can get caught. And so like it's just he's essentially pretending to bury him because like it's like you'll fucking die. And
yeah
it works out in a way where it's like he's trying to essentially be like a father to him and um teach
yeah
him
like the
like, hey man, like you're like you can't just keep thinking that you're gonna get away with everything in this game. Like you're like at any point, like Penguin almost died. Like he almost got stabbed.
I like the line where he says to him, he's like, maybe you're not built for this life or something. And we were kind of like, oh shit. But Penguins always say that. He's like, when they pull up outside to get the mansion, like the family mansion, he's like, we might be walking into our death here, boy. Get ready, like it's like fuck. He's always just kind of like thinking like this today could be the last day, like
And that's how you have to think when you're in the game like that, because it essentially like anything can happen. And
Yeah.
it's it's scary, dude. Like I wouldn't want to be part of that shit. That's fucking that's so scary.
That's what they say.
That's
Live by the sword, die by the sword. Big risk,
hmm
big reward. Yeah, let's say it's all or nothing.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about the Penguin right now. I could just that I love it. It's great. I'm really looking forward to episode 3. So the fact that it's on so late for me, I don't get to watch it until like Monday evening. So yeah, but I live for it now for the next few weeks. Like it's gonna be great. Talk to me about Agatha. What did you think?
I'm
Because we got two episodes. We got 2 episodes to talk about here as well. By the way, it's 3 and
three.
4
Oh,
because
right, three
we
and
weren't live
four.
last week.
Um, I'm I'm kind of indifferent to it.
Mm.
I I don't hate it, but it just doesn't feel like it's for me.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's
Um,
not. It's not for me either. I didn't mind episode 3. Episode 3, I thought was okay. Like I liked when they started kind of traveling down the road, and obstacles or the houses appearing, and they're going in, and it's kind of like escape room, do this, bit of fun with the gang, trying to figure out the puzzles and survive the room and get the fuck out. And I was like, this isn't the worst. I don't want a full season of this, obviously, but I was like,
oh,
for one episode, I was like, it's not too bad. But then they started like kind of episode 4 off the same way. It's like we need to summon a new witch, and I was like, it's gonna be Aubrey Plaza. It's very fucking obvious. Here we go, and
mhm.
it's like the big reveal. I was like, that wasn't a reveal at all. But yeah, and then they just kind of keep going, and again, it's another fucking kill room sort of situation. I'm just like, oh Jesus, okay, right. So when we're getting more of this, and the whole fucking jam session was just real cheesy. I was just like, me and my girlfriend looked at each other and just went, oh God, this is bad. But
Uh,
yeah, it was just cheesy, bro. Very
it,
cheesy.
it's very much akin to kind of like it's really trying to reach for that fucking 70s 80s style of like girls in a girl band kind of thing, and they're banding together and they're doing this thing together, and it's like yeah, we've seen that before though. Like can you try something else? Like I don't know, like and in my head it's like I don't want to keep like beating the same like I feel like I'm beating the same horse every time I say this, but it's like why are they just so mean to each other? Like, why are they
Mm,
just so like so snarky and acting like like nobody can have the right answer, and that and even the kid didn't have really much to say either. Like he's just very much in the background, and anytime he says something, like it's more so his fascination with them.
yeah,
And like I'm totally all for that, but like they shut him down so quickly.
yeah,
Um, it just doesn't it like it's so much of a let the older let the grown-ups talk and also
yeah,
let the women talk. It's like eh, can you like be inclusive like you say you want to be? Can you just
yeah,
like can you let things just be? Can you just be happy that things are happening the way that you want? Agatha, to be honest, Agatha should be the only person that is being the biggest bitch to everyone, and everybody else should be nice and be like, Agatha, what the fuck? Like, why are you doing this? Like, we're just trying to help. Like, we wanted to help you. We wanted to get down the road. We wanted to do all these things, and Agatha should be like, like, and I'd be fine with that because then it's like that's akin to what she's known for at this point.
Mhm.
It just bothers me that they're all like that. Like they all they all just can't get over the fact that they're just they're just mean. They're just mean people. I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they're like old witches, so I suppose that's kind of what old witches are like. But I understand where you're coming from. Like, it's just kind of it's a little difficult to watch at times. There's like some theories going around online as to who the kid is, and I think one of the big guesses was that it was actually going to be Agatha's son. What's his name? I can't think of his name in the comics, but basically, Aubrey Plaza's character kind of debunked that in the latest episode where she was kind of like, this kid isn't yours, like. So now a lot of people are saying like, oh, it's Wiccan, like it's Wanda's kid.
And fuck off with that. I don't like that. Like
I
that's
I I
so.
think it's probably what's going to happen. Um, just if you think about it as well, it's like, why is he so eager to get on the road? And it's like, maybe that's where Wanda is, and they'll come to the end of the road, and he's gonna like revive her or do something to bring her back, and that's gonna be how she gets reintroduced into the MCU, because we know she's coming back. They've said she's dead in this show. We know 100% she's coming back. Like, Elizabeth Olsen is returning as Scarlet Witch. Like, we know that for a fact. So something is going to happen in this show to resurrect her, and I think it's going to be this kid is going to be Wiccan, and he's going to bring her back. I think there was a picture in one of the promos. I haven't seen the actual promo, but I've seen the screenshot around the place, and it's
Mhm.
him using his magic, and he's got like the blue kind of like casting, just like Wiccan in the comics. So everyone's like, "Oh fuck, it's Wiccan in the comics." Like, and I think potentially there was a pop toy that was like pre-released or maybe leaked out there as well, and it had him down listed as Wiccan in it. So it's Wiccan, bro.
Fucking annoying, dude. Like it's like such a, in my opinion, such a bad way to like get a character introduced is to hide them behind all this bullshit. Because like by the end of it, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I don't care. It's just not. It's not fun for me right now. It's not that I don't hate the show. It's just not fun for me.
Yeah, I think they need to do um a lot of like kind of flashbacks and tell us like some of these characters past, and maybe why they have such a problem with Agatha. Because like,
Well,
we're
well,
just
they
seeing
did
people
sort of
with some of
like
them.
with
I suppose
the
there's a bit of an explanation, but like, like the potions master, I can't think of her name. I'm terrible with names, so I'm not gonna know any of their names in this show. But it's like,
was a potions master.
like the bald woman who she's like making all the potions or whatever, and they say that she's like
Oh,
been cut away from her magic or some shit, and it's like, why, how, and how do you know Agatha? What's going on here? Like, I have like so many questions watching this show, just like, why are the two of these fighting so much? Why do they hate each other? Please show us. Please tell us why. Aubrey Plaza and Agatha, we find out that they're ex-lovers or whatever, and there's some pretty cool theories going around about who she really is as well. But it's like, I don't know, like, it's just like, it was so obvious that they were going to be like ex-lovers or something. It was just like, oh yeah, of course that's going to be the way they go with this, like, and like, I don't know, man, it feels boring to me. It's like, give me a good story, like, you know what I mean?
well, and like they bring in Aubrey Plaza just to change the gender of the character that is with Agatha, because originally it was a man, and like I'm cool about that, but it's in the 616 universe, which means that like it should have been a man. But like if you're trying to like, and I hate going through this over and over and over, but if you're going to change things so dramatically like that, you have to explain that like it's a different universe. Like this whole MCU business, like Marvel Cinematic, like everything that's show based, movie based, it should have all been its own universe. And originally it was. I think originally it was, until they were like, people are just trying to say, is the 616, is the 616, and then eventually they're like, well, fuck, give them what they want, and then they'll love it. And it's like, no, I feel like a handful of people don't like it, but the majority of people that are just
I
never really read the comics are fine with it.
I think there was like a Marvel book that was going around a long time ago that was like, the history of Marvel, and they referred to the MCU, like the cinematic universe, as like Earth 1999 or some shit like. And like if you remember into the Sony Into the Spider-Verse, the second movie,
Hmm.
Across the Spider-Verse, Miguel's character refers to, he's like that Doctor Strange kid and that Spider-Man kid in Earth 19999 or whatever. Do you remember that line from that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember like the girl who plays Miss Marvel, she like referred to, he's like, it's not the 616, it's 199999. And like I don't know if like it was and then they changed it, but maybe they should have just kept it. And then there'd be none of this kind of confusion.
Yeah, because like then I wouldn't mind it. I'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
so this is a new take. It's a new spin. Just I'm cool with it. It's
Separate,
part
it's
of
something. Yeah.
yeah. It's like when you have your standard comics, which are 616, and you have Ultimates, which is 1610. Then you have like Ultimates 2, which I don't know the universe for that one, but like you essentially have different iterations. They're all over the place. There's even Marvel Zombies isn't the same universe as everything else. It's not it's within its own section because it's a split off from what actually would have happened in 616, because everyone's
Mm.
still alive in 616 essentially, except for the ones that have died, been resurrected and whatnot, but
Yeah.
we won't get too deep into that.
Yeah, yeah, no, no. Yeah, like I just again, the show I think looks well. I think it's kind of acted well, but and I don't think the budget is too high as well. So I think like from a statistic standpoint, I think like Disney are saying this show's a big success. I wouldn't know if I'd call it a big success, but financially, it's probably making them money, so that's a success in their eyes. Nothing else matters. Um, and I just think like I see a lot of people like trying to compare this show to the Penguin. I'm like, it's like the stupidest shit ever. It's like, why are you comparing it? Like, they're two completely different shows. Is it because they're airing in the same weeks? Is it because it's Marvel versus DC? Like, what's the comparisons here? Like, I don't really know. And like, is it
Yeah,
boys versus girls? Like what are they trying to
I,
portray here? Like, I was like, these things shouldn't even be in the same category. Like, one is like very much like rated mature. It's gangster show, kind of for adults, whatever. This show's a teeny show about witches and stuff, like, a couple of jump scares. It's not
it's not a
really,
teeny I wouldn't say it's a
well,
teeny show.
sorry,
Like
sorry. I don't know. Like, I
no, no,
think
no,
it,
no, 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 no. Those are adult women and one kid.
yeah.
You have to have all teens doing shit and we're the kids in America bullshit.
So the
And then
cast
you have
has to
teenies.
be kids for it to be for teens.
Yes.
I don't know about
I've never watched anything in my life that had to do besides Hocus Pocus, because that also that involved a ton of kids.
Yeah, I've never really thought about it like that, but yeah, I don't know.
You know, Finto. Like it's literally that's the formula. Those
Mm,
those are those are those are 30 to 40-year-old women
yeah.
going through hardships and
Well,
being mean to each other.
it's definitely not a show made for 30 to 40-year-old women, though.
Are you sure about that?
I
Are
really
you
think so.
sure about that?
They haven't been marketing it that way anyway. I'll give them that.
Like,
I think it's for teenagers slash early 20s, mostly women.
what teens are watching this shit?
I'd say loads, bro.
They
I'd say
literally had
loads.
70 to 80s like style shit. They had music. That's fucking Josie and the Pussycat shit. Don't
I
you
yeah, I don't know,
no.
man. I don't think kids care about that shit. They
Then
just
why do you
they
say it's
they
for kids?
no, as in I don't think they care that they don't get the references.
They do care.
I don't know. I don't know. Because like, I'm trying to think. There was that song "Take on Me."
Yeah.
Take on me. I was like, that like appears in everything, right? Like, and it's been a song around for so long. But like my son said, oh, that was in like that's the song from Despicable Me or something. I'm like, what? I was like, no, that song's older than all of us. Like, it's like, but the kids don't give a shit because they're like, oh, it's just they picked it because it's like that song that they heard in something else, and he loves that song because it's the song from Despicable Me 4. Like, he
Yeah,
doesn't care that it's a song from the 80s.
but that makes sense because that's a kid's movie.
No, I know, but I'm just saying it has 80s stuff in it, 70s, 80s stuff in it, but it's like that's not relevant to the
They're
kids.
appealing to the kids.
Yeah.
You're not winning this argument now. Like
Okay.
I
I'm not
I
it
no.
isn't an argument, but okay.
It feels like it now.
No,
I'm
no, it's
feeling
not.
it. Like it's literally one of those moments where it's like dude, like I don't know any kid who wants to see a bunch of grown women going through shit. Like, do you see kids watching First Wives Club?
I don't even know what First Wives Club is.
Exactly, because you were a kid when that first came out.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. No idea.
That's a bunch of grown ass women trying to get revenge back on their husbands that swindled them out of money.
Yeah, never heard of it. Brand new information to me. Yeah, I don't know.
Good
Like, I'm
movie.
just
It was fun.
okay. Yeah, I don't know. I just like, I'd love to hear from them, like officially who they are actually trying to market the show to, because it's not people like me. It's not people like you. It's not women in their fucking mid to late
Yes,
40s and 50s.
they're back after so long. If they were like younger, if they were in their 20s to early 30s, then maybe I would have considered believing you on this. But this
I
is the
don't
older women. It's appealing. It's trying to hit a different demographic.
I don't know any women my age or older that are watching this show and going, "Oh, this is good." I don't know one. Not
How
one.
old's your old lady?
She's around my age and she doesn't like this show.
So it
She
tried.
says it. She
It
says it's
failed.
for teenagers. She says it's
Really?
for
Like
kids.
it's
Yeah.
just it doesn't make that doesn't make sense though, man. I've never watched anything as a teenager regarding older gentlemen or older women that like just made me feel like, oh yeah, no, it was always Teen Titans. It was fucking Kids Next Door. It was like all the shit that involved kids, teens, things like that. Like because it appeals to me. It speaks to me. Catherine
Mhm.
Hahn, I think she's in her fucking 50s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like those ladies are all in their 50s and 60s probably.
I don't know, but like, sure, like fucking Ryan Reynolds is in his late 40s. He's going to be 50 soon. The Rock is 53. He appeals to kids. Like it's like,
But yeah, but he's literally doing movies with kids.
yeah, yeah, no, I know.
Deadpool does like Deadpool is just Deadpool. He's in Fortnite.
Deadpool's
He's
for
like
everyone. Yeah.
yes, exactly because they appeal to everyone. They put him in everything.
Yeah.
We're like when Agatha Harkness shows up in Fortnite, then I'll start believing you.
Yeah. I don't know. Like the way I think of it is like I think this is kind of like a Marvel version of like Sabrina the Teenage Witch. That's how I kind of
Ew, dude, no.
yeah, that's kind of the way I see it is.
No.
Yeah.
No, dude, like even the new like scary adventure or whatever the fuck it's called of Sabrina, even that's like kind of close, but it's not really hitting it. It's just for people that were like, "Oh shit, I remember Sabrina. I remember watching that." We've
Yeah.
never seen like Agatha Harkness before.
True. True.
What do you like? It's
Well,
good.
she was
That's
in
confusing.
WandaVision, and I suppose it's like everyone loved WandaVision. It's like here's a story. Here, let's give her own story. And
Yeah, and look,
WandaVision, would you say
uh,
WandaVision was more for a younger audience?
no,
No.
no, it was literally going through the years. It was going through the 40s through the 90s. You couldn't you like who would remember the honeymooner shit, the fucking I Love Lucy shit? Like it's
No.
so hard. Like no,
Nobody.
nobody. You'd have to be in your 30s to 40s.
Yeah. I don't even remember half of those shows. It's an American thing, really. Like it's something that kind of passes over the rest of the world, I think. But I
I'm
don't know.
well,
I still
no. Like it just really depends on what kind of TV that you watch, and not and depending on where you are, it's gated at times. But like I've heard of people saying that they knew about I Love Lucy. There are people in this world that love I Love Lucy.
yeah, but there's people in this world that it didn't even air on their TVs,
I, you can make the same argument about everything else, Finto. I'm just saying, like
Yeah.
it's hit and miss. Well,
Mhm.
like, but in all, the age demographic is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll get some answers from Disney themselves when it's all said and done.
Uh, they're.
I doubt it
I
though.
mean, Aubrey Plaza already said it for everyone.
Yeah, no, she did. Yeah.
Yeah.
um.
Well, like, I wonder what they're planning to do with that relationship. Are they is it just gonna be a one shot? Is it gonna be like is one of them gonna die at the end of it? And then, basically it's just Agatha all along. Is it literally going to be
Agatha
like
all
a
alone by the end.
yeah, essentially, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
probably.
like it's basically taking a story that was already done, redoing it, and probably turning it into a shit show, and then by the end of it, we're not going to care.
I think didn't she mention in the latest episode? The girls asked like, "Oh, how many people survived the road the last time?" And she said it was only her. So she's like, only I survived, so I would
No,
not be surprised.
no. How
Oh,
many
she said
people have
one.
how many people have died?
No, I think the line was, "How many people like survived to the end with you the last time?" And
Could have
she
sworn it was
said one.
died.
No, I think I'm pretty sure I'm right because I remember thinking like, "Oh, well, that kind of means that everyone else is gonna die, or we're gonna lose a lot more people than just one."
All right.
I'm guessing. I'm guessing. Um, do you have any other kind of nerdy news that you want to talk about?
For anime watchers, the Japanese voice actor for Frankie and Django will be unavailable this week. He is having health complications. Hopefully, he restores back to normal like soon and gets back in a healthy condition. Those voice actors, man, the voice actors, even Oda, like they work to the fucking bone, dude. Like, and it's sad, but but because it's like such a good story, like they don't want to disappoint the fans. And so like there's only been a couple times where we've ever seen Oda actually take a break. I think there were 2 months out of this year that he took a break.
He was having
And
like
one of them was
problems with his voice, or he had to go for a surgery or something, was it?
he had to get surgery for his
Oh,
eyes.
sorry, his eyes. Sorry, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah. I remember you telling me about that.
can you imagine if that had gone south? Like fuck, man. Like it's just they're trying so hard to maintain the health of everyone for that show and for the manga itself so that they can finish it, because if for some reason Oda passes away, I don't know if it's ever going to get finished.
Mm,
And it's heartbreaking, man. Like I'm so glad Toriyama got as far as he could, but he sadly passed away. And even Oda looked up to him. Oda was like Toriyama was part of the reason why Oda even started One Piece. That's why you see
yeah,
a lot of things that are like very much akin to like or homages to that show. Those kind of shows are just so fucking amazingly written. And when you see things like, oh, they were doing a crime and so now they're kicked out and they changed out the voice actor for it, or oh, they died, it's fucked up. Like the voice actor for Borsalino died, so they had to replace him, and it doesn't sound exactly the same, but it's close enough, which I'm thankful for. But it just sucks that guy couldn't get through the rest of the show. Like complications happen, you pass away, and it's sad.
yeah, yeah. It's weird when voice actors change.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you watch Rick and Morty, but you presume you heard all the kind of crazy shit that went on with your man Justin Rollins, the creator of Rick and Morty. He kind of
Mhm.
got sacked, and they replaced him with another actor. And I think I watched the first episode of the season without him, and it just didn't feel right. If like it threw me so off, like, and I could tell it was a guy just trying to do a voice, like, and trying to be as Justin as he could, but it just didn't work. And
Mhm.
I don't know, the show's been kind of on a steady decline anyway, so I just don't. I haven't even really watched many of the episodes without him because I was like an fucking avid watcher of that show for years, loved it, and I haven't even seen the new season, like, because I'm just like, ugh. So I'll just kind of put a sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah, it sucks, man.
Does
But like it goes to show you, like as things get bigger, more things get revealed.
mhm.
And unfortunately, some of the things that get revealed are horrible things. And um, the best thing you can do is replace them. And it's. I wish Marvel would take a page from that. To be honest, you know, replacing is so much easier than just outright changing the script and trying to like make a new thing out of nothing. You had something going forward, and you you smush it into nothing because you decide that now that character's now that character's smudge. Now it's a dirty character. the kids aren't going to care about that. They
Yeah,
just, they're going to be like, why did Kang change? Why does he look different now? It's like, well, then you
yeah,
explain it to them. Just like, oh, they just changed actors, and
yeah.
then and
Or it's a
it's that
multiverse
easy.
character. It's like just it doesn't even really need to be explained. But
Yeah, you
the
could
way they
literally
made them
have a
all,
different
Jonathan
Kang.
Jonathan Majors is like, oh, they kind of dug themselves a hole there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
rough. Um, are you gonna go see Venom 3?
yeah, I already got my ticket.
Nice, nice. I haven't pre-ordered myself. When is it coming out? What date? I don't even know the date.
Sometime this month, I think on the 24th.
Nice. I think I will go see it. I hated Venom 2, but I think I want to go see this one. There's they've confirmed that Noel's going to be in it. Like Noel's a really fucking cool character.
I
Um,
don't I don't know why they're going so fucking fast with it, dude. Like I just don't get it. I don't get why they have to speed things up so fucking quickly. Like when it comes to these Marvel shows, like it's you don't have to fucking put me on a bullet train and get me all the way to the end of the fucking road. Like give us
yeah,
time to enjoy these characters and then introduce like one of the fucking Null is the fucking god of the symbiotes. It's like, why are you showing the god? Like why do you do this?
yeah.
Like
I think
with
Tom
Eternals, I get it.
Tom Hardy announced that it's his last movie. I don't believe what he's saying, but he said that this is it. Him and the big guy are done. I think was the official quote. Like, and it's like, I don't
The
believe you,
big
bro.
guy, the fucking big guy. Are you fucking kidding me?
I
You
think
do you
he,
know who else said the big guy? Mark Ruffalo.
yeah.
Like, can you just like fucking God? I hate it.
um, do you think it's going to be a good movie? Or have you got any hopes for it?
No, no hopes whatsoever.
I love
It's
that. No,
it's gonna be a shit show, man. Like, there's just no way. Like, it's they
imagine it was great. I'm putting it out here now. Imagine it was great.
then I'll eat my words.
It'd be such a plot twist if they like ended a trilogy of like in my opinion pretty shit films. Like I wasn't even really crazy on the first one, but imagine they ended it with an absolute banger for the third, and
the first
then like they bring him back, and it's like oh, okay, come to Secret Wars, interact with all the Spider-Men finally, and maybe you fight Andrew Garfield or something. There's rumors like
God,
floating around that Andrew's doing 2 more movies, and one of them might be like him versus Noel. Like, what the fuck? Oh, dude. I think Spider-Man
this
fans are about to be eating good, bro. Tom Holland signed a new contract. 6 more movies from Tom Holland.
6 more shit shows.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah,
Careful
no,
now.
I'm saying
Careful
it
now.
now. I'm saying it.
No.
It's gonna
All his
like
movies are
people
great.
because it's Spider-Man. That's all it is.
Tom
It's
Holland's
just
great.
is he?
MCU Spidey's great. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
sure,
is. He is.
fine.
I think he's
I'll
great.
disagree with you,
Is
Finto.
Andrew is he better than Andrew? No,
No.
he's not. But his movies are better than Andrew's movies.
Eh.
They are.
He only had two, and the second one was really weird.
Yeah. Second one, like some of the best visuals that we've ever seen, Spider-Man was. But story was just ass.
No, the
And
story was fine. It was the fucking costuming and the weird take on the villains.
I
Like
hated the Harry. I hated
that he
Electro.
got like gritty ass teeth and looked like he was full of pimples.
Yeah, like he was like just about to explode or something. Like what the
Yeah, like,
fuck?
it's just so bad.
It was so weird, dude. It was so weird. I don't know. They just can't seem to get Harry right. Even in like, I didn't really like James Franco's take on Harry either.
Fucking love James Franco's like Harry. That was so good, dude.
It was just
Like,
so rushed, though. And like, I
of
think
course it was rushed because they felt they didn't have a
they did 3
proper.
villains in one movie, and it was just
Yeah,
so stupid. If there was just a Sandman movie, it would have been fucking brilliant, and it would have been just a great end to that trilogy. Like, they didn't need Harry in there. They didn't need Venom in there.
exactly.
It was just too much, too much.
Yeah,
And like, I think Raimi himself said he didn't even want to do it. He's like, the fucking studio forced him to do that. I think he just wanted to do Sandman. He didn't want Venom. He didn't want Harry at all, and the studio forced him to do it.
Yeah, because the studio was like, Sandman's not enough to carry the movie, and he's like, what? And it's like
Yeah, how
Sandman's
fucking
not
wrong
enough.
were they?
Yeah, it's
Jesus,
so fucking dumb. Like,
that intro where he like turns into Sandman. It's like
yeah,
such a
dude.
great opener, and then like even all the shit with his daughter and everything, and it's fucking brilliant. It's brilliant.
What's the name? What's the actor's name? Is something Church?
Can't think of his name.
Something Christian something Church.
He was
I think
in. He was in Twisted Metal, I think, and he was
I
really good
didn't
in it.
finish Twisted Metal. I should have finished it. I
It's
heard it
good.
was decent.
Yeah, no, it is. It's good. It's worth the watch. He was in that, and I think that's the reason why he couldn't actually shoot for No Way Home, because they were shooting it at the same time. But he wanted to actually be in No Way Home, so they ended up actually just reusing Spider-Man 3 footage, kind of cleverly reusing Spider-Man 3 footage. They did the same for the Lizard as well, because
Yeah,
what's his
because
name, Ralph Fiennes or whatever his name is. He was shooting House of the Dragon at the time.
you mean Reciphens or Reciphens?
I don't even know. What did I say? I always get him
Because
mixed up.
you were thinking of Ray Fiennes, weren't you?
I'm
Voldemort.
in my head. I'm thinking
You
of
were
the
thinking
right
of
guy.
Voldemort, weren't you?
No, in my head, I'm thinking of the right guy, but I mix the two names up. I mix his name up with the guy who played Voldemort. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I get that because
yeah.
it's the R names. You don't really get very many R names in the
Yeah.
acting world. Like we have Robert
In
Downey Jr., we have Ryan Reynolds, we have Ryan Gosling. Never mind.
there's fucking millions of them. No, they both have kind of weird names though, so that's why they don't stick in my head. You know, if his name was like Ryan Murphy, I'm like, okay, it's hard to forget that. Like, you know, but if they both have really weird names.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Like, I think Venom 3 could kind of set up something kind of crazy. There might be a cool after credit scene that might set up like Spider-Man 4 or set up Doomsday or some shit. Like, I think they're gonna really like kind of try and mash them into the MCU even more, because I believe Tom's new contract is 2 movies that he had already signed on for, which were Doomsday and Spider-Man 4, I believe. And then he signed on for Spider-Man 5, Spider-Man 6, and then 2 more appearances, I think, on top of that, which they're saying is going to be Secret Wars, obviously, and another kind of secret project that they don't know, no one knows is what it is. Now, I hope that appearance isn't just like an after credit scene in fucking Venom 3 or something. I hope it's a big appearance somewhere else.
Now I hope it is.
That would be funny, but you know, it's like, ugh. I think what Sony are doing is they're allowing Marvel to use Spider-Man more freely. So I think, you know, we could potentially now see Spider-Man show up in Daredevil. You could see Spider-Man show up in the Thunderbolts or in, you know, Captain America 4. Shit like that, you know. I think that's where it's going. Which like is, I think it's important to the character of Spider-Man, because it's like he could just so easily show up. So much shit happens in New York. It's like, why wouldn't he show up? I say this all the time, but it's like, why wouldn't he show up? You know, they do Hawkeye season 2. It's in New York again. It's like, why wouldn't Spider-Man show up? It's a big fucking terrorist attack,
right? And
5 blocks away.
When
Where
you have it so much on a grand scale, such as a gigantic building, it's definite that he has to show up. Like, especially because he's, you know, hanging around. But
we know he has the police scanner in his house at all times, so it's like, you know, terrorist attack down at Rockefeller Center. It's like Spidey's like, I'm fucking 6 blocks away. I could jump there. Like, you know, it's like, why wouldn't he go?
Yeah, and also, like, if you're not going to have him there, kind of explain why he wasn't there. Maybe it's like,
yeah,
maybe it's like, maybe it would have been funny if like Hawkeye was like, oh man, I wish Peter was here, but you know, he's currently on a trip or something like that. Like,
yeah. He's on
if
a
only
field
Peter
trip.
wasn't on his damn field trips.
Yeah, damn that little bastard on his prom or something.
Yeah, something fun like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. I think, you know, I love Spider-Man, and just, you know, as much Spider-Man as we can get, I'm all down for. You know, if we get, I don't really want Spider-Man 4 to be just No Way Home Part 2, where I think it actually might be. Obviously, I'll be down to watch it, but I would like it to be something a bit different,
Hmm.
something a little more grounded because of how they've kind of retconned his history a little bit, and they're kind of kicking it off as the Spider-Man origin story that we now know. So I'd be
Hmm.
kind of interested to see that unfold in the MCU. But look, if if a portal opens and Andrew walks through and it's like, "Hey, Peter one, can I get your help here with something?" There's a
Hey,
big
Peter
fucking alien.
One.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey,
Hey, Peter
Peter,
One. Can you
I
help
got
me
an
with
alien
this?
over here." you know, I think that'd be cool to see too. So I'm down for it either way, but I would like to see it a little more grounded and some more kind of like street level heroes and partners coming in and making some new friends because my heart broke for Peter Parker at the end of that movie where he was literally by himself in the world, like no friends, nobody knows who he is. Terrifying, terrifying. Young man just lost the last of his family, and he's in like a shitbox shoebox apartment in New York by himself with no job, no nothing. Like my heart broke for the kid, like, and that's what makes me love Spider-Man. It's like it feels real, like it's like you just connect and relate to this kid so much, like, and even me now as an adult, like I still do, like, and it's magic, man. It's magic. Love it.
Yeah, no, I get that. Now I just want like some shit like that where it's like fucking Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man comes through a portal and he's just like eating a hot dog. Just sees that shit's going down. He's like,
See you. Raindrops keep falling on my head.
fuck, give us that, Marvel. Give us that, Sonny. That would be
That
so
would be
funny.
funny. That would be funny. Um, Deadpool and Wolverine got released digitally this week. I haven't watched it yet again at home. Sorry, I lie. I threw on the intro just to watch the Bye 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 thing again, just
Mhm.
on OLED, and it was beautiful. But I haven't actually sat
It's
down, haven't had the
it's
time to
so
sit down
good,
and
man.
watch the full movie. It's a great film. It's a great film. But I'm looking forward to properly sitting down and watch it again. I will order the steelbook when it comes out. I want to kind of check out all the behind the scenes shit and everything. So um I'm looking forward to watching it digitally. I'm probably going to do a watch party in Discord as well because there's a few people that are that haven't seen it yet and they want to watch it. So I'm happy to kind of host a movie night. So if anyone's
Yeah,
listening
man.
to this, pop into the Discord. You can watch it with us. Probably on Wednesday. Um, do I have any other nerdy news from the week? Give me 1 second. Got to give a quick shout out as well. Actually, there's like a new podcasting app where people could be listening to this right now on it. But it's like a Spanish based app. And like our podcast for some reason is just like shot up in plays and downloads over on that site. So shout out to any new listeners who might be listening to us on the go.
Maybe those that type of geography was unable to check out different things. They saw something akin to Marvel, and they're like, "Hey, man, I'm for it."
I would love to know how it happened, but you know, like the numbers just like really kind of like shot up. Like we were kind of averaging maybe 10 to 12 downloads per episode um on like Spotify and Apple and stuff, and just out of nowhere it's just fucking rocketed up. So it's great. It's great. Long may it last.
It's
Long may it
exciting.
last.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to kind of get in front of new listeners and watchers and stuff, like it's good to grow.
And we really love your comments and your output. I haven't had a chance to check out the video that you posted, like for the most recent videos. So I really need to check that out and
Yeah, there's
see if
some
there's any comments.
there is, yeah, there's some comments from some people. I think like kind of chopping up these podcasts and uploading them as separate videos, like with different topics and stuff, is like been really good for kind of keeping the channel active on YouTube. So
Mhm.
I kind of last week's podcast was a little bit of a longer one, and it flowed a little better. So I kind of like chopped it up into like, at the Agatha part and then the Hulk part and so on, and just put them up as separate videos, and they kind of like did pretty well. So that was pretty cool. Um, this is only really for people who are watching us right now, but if you're listening, I apologize. But basically, they showed Nicolas Cage in a first kind of behind the scenes photo of him as Spider-Man Noir. There's going to be a new Spider-Man series on Amazon, which is kind of crazy. But that's him kind of he's playing the same character that he was in the Sony animated movies, Spider-Man Noir. So that's going to be kind of cool. So I presume it's going to be kind of like a 50s style kind of detective, like he's got the trench coat on and stuff like that. Like I'm a big Nick Cage fan, so I'm down either way, whether it's good or bad. I think Nick can't make bad stuff. He only just makes interesting decisions. So I think it's going to be good. We'll see. We'll see.
I
Um,
just
I'm
I
down.
find it interesting that they're showing like his face, which makes me wonder,
Yeah.
is this before he becomes the actual Spider-Man Noir?
Mm, interesting. Yeah, it's like because again, I don't really know much about the Spider-Man Noir myself. Like, is he actually a cop? Like, he's not maybe is he like is he kind of like the Flash where he's like a CI guy or something like?
Hmm.
I don't know. Like, I'm guessing here that he kind of looks like he's a detective or something. So like, I presume maybe he's a cop and Spider-Man. So like, Peter Parker is a cop, but then Spider-Man is Spider-Man, obviously.
Yeah, because then it makes it more likely for him to kind of maneuver around the world, because then it's
Exactly.
like, okay, well, the there's Spider-Man, but like maybe he doesn't have his own chapter yet. So I could have sworn in the Spider-Man, like across the universe or across the Spider-Verse or into the Spider-Verse,
Mhm.
it showed that he essentially like had his own stop. Like I think he has his own office, and
Yeah,
um
yeah. But I
so
didn't know. My understanding of that was that that was like Spider-Man more so. People were like hiring Spider-Man as a detective, not Peter Parker. So again, more confusion because it's like, why is he not up the mascot?
right, yeah. So
Yeah.
like hopefully it's just a like a prequel kind of situation where it's like it's before the point where he's about to put on the mask. Then
Mm,
you see him putting it on more often. Then you have his day to day, of course, because he still has to be still has to be Peter Parker.
true. Maybe the mask is like CGI or something, and maybe like they'll shoot this. Nick will shoot the scenes, and then they maybe like after put on a mask or something. Maybe like you never know.
Yeah, that'd
Uh,
be fine.
Quicksilver returning in Secret Wars. I'm not shocked by this at all. Like, I love Evan Peters. I think he is phenomenal, and I think Secret Wars. I know you don't like the idea of the kind of soft reboot and stuff, but I think Secret Wars could be like a perfect place to bring somebody like Evan Peters here, who has had an incredible kind of run as a hero, but because of stuff like the ending of Fox has been kind of shelved. It's a great fucking way to bring someone like that back. Like, if you could get him to show up and be like part of the MCU again after Secret Wars, it'd be a gift
Well,
to get
well, and
somebody like Quicksilver back like that.
well, and they already established that Evan Peters is Quicksilver because of WandaVision.
Yeah, true.
So like
Although,
they could.
what was his name in it? Ralph
Oh well,
Boner.
like yeah, like when they did that, like they could have there. It's easily placed in as such, which like
Yeah,
I don't like. I will never understand why they decided to make it a dick joke.
it
Um.
feels like that. That felt like a fuck you from Kevin Feige.
Oh,
Genuinely.
it's a
Yeah.
big dick middle finger.
Yeah. What do you think, Simu Liu here? He's
I
looking
think he's
jacked,
hot, man. I
bro.
think he's the hottest fucking. Give me some of that. No, just
He's
kidding.
he's look Jesus Christ. He's looking he's looking fucking beefy though. He's looking good. He's jacked, bro. He's
He
ready
looks
to
better
go.
than me, man.
He looks better than all of us put
He
together, I'd
does
say.
look better than all of us. I don't know if he's gonna. Do you think he's gonna like be just as big as Hugh Jackman?
I think that's kind of probably where he'll stay. This kind
Okay.
of I could say that it kind of works for the character too. Like, part of what I loved about the first movie, like, at the start where he's like, wake getting out of bed and straight jumping down into the press ups and stuff like that, and he just looks like he's naturally athletic and naturally a martial artist, like, and I think that's kind of the perfect build for someone like him.
Yeah,
But
because
I know
I
you're gonna
think
love
the
this
idea of
one.
what fans expected.
How badass does that top picture look? I only put that in. I put
It's
that in because I wanted to show this to you live and get your
it's a
reaction.
little it's a little gruffy, but like I do like the effort that they put into that. I don't think they needed like the scars or anything
Mm.
in particular. But maybe not the eyes so much. Just keep the face kind of mean, but like I don't know. I think
If Edward Norton stayed around, this is what Scar would actually look like. Do you agree?
Maybe like
I think so. I feel like
yeah.
they're trying to like soften the whole Hulk thing up and make him look more kind of
They're,
friendly or something. But like,
hi,
if you,
like
I don't know
he's a
why, but this
monster.
is exactly, I know, but I feel like if they kept him like this, it would be like Edward Norton's Hulk, because like, you know, Berserker Hulk sort of thing, and that'd be his son, like, you know, whereas like it's like Professor Hulk and he's kind of chill and he's zen,
Well,
and this is his son. He's kind of a bit edgy, but he's got his shit together too.
well, and they have to remember it's like Scar isn't a fucking like he's not like full 100% human. He's mixed with Sicarian.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like it's
Oh,
just
dude, I don't
give
know.
give us some aspects that are like akin to an alien and mixed with a
Hmm.
human,
Hmm.
and then like I don't get it. I don't get what they were trying to do with She Hulk whatsoever. I don't want to get into it. Just saying like
Did
it's
he even say a word? I don't even think he
no
spoke. He
no
just stood there.
he
He was
stood there
there
like
for
a
a
good little boy.
burger and yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He was shy.
fucking asshole, fucking shy asshole.
Oh, dude, I don't know.
I
I might.
apologize for swearing so much, man, because
Ah,
that just grinds my gears.
people know what they've signed up for with this podcast. I don't think people are going to be like, "Oh, geez, these guys curse quite a lot."
They're
They know.
so
They
angry
know.
all the
People
time.
know. People know.
Oh, that guy Alex, I don't like him.
Yeah, no, I've never seen that in the comments anyway, so it's
I
all
can't.
good. I think we're loved.
I think I'm hated.
I
No, I'm
get
just
it.
kidding. I'm
I
kidding. I'm
get
kidding.
it. Unless you have anything else to bring up on my end here, I know it's a bit of a short one tonight, but I do have a very early start. I'm up at 6:30 in the morning, so I might
Huh?
bail early tonight. Next week we're gonna have episode 3 of The Penguin, and we're gonna have episode 5 of Agatha, and any other kind of nerdy bits from the week. We might, I don't know, we'll talk about maybe Deadpool a little bit after another rewatch of it, and any keep your ear to the ground. Any news, let us know, guys. If you're listening to us on a replay, let us know in the comments below. Do you think Alex is a dickhead or not? Let us
Yeah.
know.
Let me know. And also give us your prediction on how many times the coven is going to bigger
Yeah,
because it just
and
they just constantly do it.
will we lose another one? Will another one die? I'm gonna guess we're gonna at least lose one next week. I think there's
I
gonna
hope
be
so.
a death every week up until the end now, and it'll only be Aubrey Plaza, it'll be Agatha, and it'll be Wiccan at the very end, and that'll be it. And then they'll awaken the Scarlet Witch, and the show will end. Like
And then we
genuinely,
all wake up
and
from our nightmare.
then we'll be like, and then we go, okay, let's never watch that again.
Yep.
All right, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Have a good one.